Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be making an easel style Christmas card, and with Christmas coming up, I hope that this gives you some ideas of your own. So let's head on over to the craft table and get started. So here are a few things I'm going to be using for today's card. For my easel card base, I'm going to be using a cardstock that is 8.5 by 5.5. And then I'm going to be using some white glitter paper from Close to My Heart, and I love it because it doesn't rub off all over the place. I'm also going to be using this beautiful snowflake background die from In Love Arts, as well as this Santa and his reindeer from In Love Arts, and this distress ink in chipped sapphire, and a piece of cardstock that I actually haven't measured, but I'm going to be inking that, and all I know is it is the right size for die cutting. And let's see, I think that is about it. I'll have links to all of these things below in the description box so that you can find them. Okay, so I'm going to be inking this piece of cardstock with no special technique at all. I am just going to be kind of creating a background to cut that sky snowflake background with that I showed you. And so this is the one that I'm going to be using to die cut that with. And so there really isn't going to be any special techniques for this. So I am just going to go ahead and finish this off camera. Okay, and there's the piece of cardstock that I just inked. And I'm going to be die cutting that with the snowflake background die. So I'm going to get this on here, and I have to be really careful because I cut the cardstock just barely the size to fit this. So I'm going to grab some washi tape over here, hopefully, there we go. Kind of put it on there in hopes of it staying in place. Okay, now put that through my Cuttlebug. And I'll just roll it back through so that I don't have to reach around there. And let's see what we got. Well, that was good. That cut it out really easy. So I think the next thing I have to do is go get a pokey tool and get this poked out of there. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's see how easy this comes out, because I really love the way it cut. Oh, yeah, this is going to come out beautiful. I love it when dies work this nice. Look at that. No problem at all. Ooh, one little snowflake right there that I'll have to pull out. Let's see. Everything else is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. I can't wait to use this. I just had to show you this after I popped all of the pieces out of the die. Look at all these beautiful snowflakes and little dots that you can use for another project. I'm going to save these for another card. So while I'm at it, I thought I should cut out Santa and his reindeer, and I'm going to be doing that with this black glitter paper, also from Close to My Heart. And so I'm just going to run this through my Cuttlebug and be right back. Okay, now it's time to make my easel card base. And so I have this sitting here with 8.5 inches going that direction and 5.5 this way. And what we're going to do is we're going to score it in half. So half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. And we're going to score it right there. And then we're going to score it in half again, and half of 4 1/4 is 2 1/8, which is that little line just past the 2. So I'm going to score it right there. And if you don't have a scoreboard, it's as simple as folding your cardstock in half and then folding it in half again from the other side. And once you do that, you have created your easel card base. Now it's time to put the front of the card together, and you've already seen these pieces, but what I've done here is cut out a couple of city silhouettes using my Cricut and the Plant and School book cartridge. And I also took a piece of the white glitter paper, and with my scissors I just cut some snowy hills right there. So to start with, I'm going to put these things to the side, and I'm going to be adhering our sky to that white glitter cardstock. Now, I'm going to do this off camera because I'm going to be using a spray adhesive because I want full coverage on that when I put it down. I don't want any loose areas sticking up. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. While I was at it, I also used spray adhesive to adhere the city silhouette and Santa Claus. And if you're wondering what I used, this is the spray adhesive that I prefer to use because it works really well. And next, I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 and glue this little snowy hill to the bottom. And I'm not worried about full coverage on this, really. I mean, it's a snowy hill. If it's loose a little bit, that's good. Okay, so let's turn this over. And I'm going to put it right here along the bottom. So it goes edge to edge there. Make sure that I have it even. And isn't that beautiful? I just love the way that turned out. So now it's time to add this to our card base. So to do that, I'm going to use my beacon, and I'm just going to put the adhesive on this flap right here. I'm not going to put it on this one, okay? So I'm just going to turn this around here, get my glue to come out, and put my glue on there. And then I'm going to put this. Now, the way I like to do it to make sure everything works out is I like to fold it back up again so that it looks just like the front of a card. Okay, that way I can make sure that all the edges are edge to edge, and that is the nice thing about the beacon, is that it does give you time to move things around. So, now that we have that done, it's time to work on the bottom part of the card. So, for the bottom part, or the inside part, I'm going to be using another piece of that white glitter paper from Close to My Heart, and it's going to fit perfectly right in there. So I'm just going to adhere that in. And you don't always have to have it fit perfectly in there if you don't want to waste and you just want to, you know, have it where it's going to be showing. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense right now, but hold on a second and I'll tell you what I mean. So I've got the glue on there, and this is going to fit right in here, covering the entire bottom. So what I was talking about is sometimes when I do one, I won't put a piece of paper or cardstock all the way back because it's not all going to show. So if you wanted, you can always, you know, go like this, you know, hold it where you want it, measure it, and say, okay, I want it to go back 2.5 inches. And so just make this piece 2.5 inches and not worry about what's behind it. But in this particular case, I just decided to do the whole thing. So next, I have to put what I'm going to call the stopper to keep the card upright like that so it doesn't go sliding. And so I've cut another piece of the white glitter cardstock, just like I did right here. It's actually the other side of it. And I'm going to use that to pop up right here. So I'm going to have to put some double-sided tape on it. And I think I'm going to put probably 2 layers. Wonder what that was. Anyways, I think I'm going to put 2 layers. So let me get it right along there. And that way it will definitely give it enough height. I really like to make sure that it is raised enough, and I'm pretty sure that probably is raised enough, but I don't know. Let me see. It is. You know, maybe I'll just go with 1. I know, decisions. I always have problems with decisions. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to go with my original decision because sometimes it's just best to do that. So I'm having to be careful putting this on here because I don't want it to stick out the bottom and I don't want it to stick out the top. I don't want it to show. And it's pretty much sticking to me. It's pretty close the way I have that snowbank cut, or snowy hill here. Okay, so Let me remove this. And I'm just going to set this up just about where I think it should be. And then I am going to add this. You know what I think I'm going to do? Hold still. I want to make sure I have a little wiggle room there. So I'm going to add a little beacon to that just to make sure I have a little wiggle room. So I'm just going to put a little thin strip right down the middle. Move that back out of the way. And let's do this again. So I think I'll stand it up about right there. And make sure that everything goes to the edges just right. Okay. There we go. Perfect, right where I wanted it. And that's going to hold it up. I know that's a weird angle for you to see, but there you go. And now I have cut out Merry Christmas, and I did that using this Sizzix set, which I think is absolutely awesome, and I'm not sure of the name of it. I know I've shared it before, but anyways, I will put a link below. But what I did was I cut out Merry Christmas. Let me bring it over here. And I am going to be putting it right there. And this is another thing that just because the glitter paper is textured, that's not completely smooth, and because the writing is so fine and delicate, I am going to be using spray adhesive again to put it on here. So because I can't spray around my camera or my laptop, I'm going to go do that off camera, and I'll be right back. And here it is, all finished. And I decided to add one of the blue snowflakes right down here just to kind of bring it all together. And I will take some pictures of this so you could see it actually sitting up instead of me kind of holding it at a tilt here for you. But there you go, and then it's just going to fold up just like this to go in the mail. Isn't that perfect? And if you wanted to write more, you can do that back here. You can stamp on this glitter cardstock or whatever it is you're using, or you can put something right across the back here. I often do that, especially where I'm going to sign it at. So there you go. Thank you all for stopping by today. And if you look below in the description box, just click where it says show more and it'll drop down. You will find links to the products that I used today, as well as a discount code to In Love Arts if you decide to shop there. And don't forget, get started on those Christmas cards because Christmas is going to sneak up on you. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider that too. And if you do, be sure to click the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos or giveaways. And I hope you stop by Crafters Castle on Facebook and also Crafters Castle Challenge blog to enter your creations.